Good morning, everybody. This is Melanie Mitro, and I am a 15-star Diamond Team Beachbody Coach, and I'm hosting this open Q&A session this morning, and I just want to keep it kind of relaxed and chill, and I really want to answer questions that you potentially have about your Beachbody business to help you, maybe keep people engaged or focus your business on the right activities, or turn people from customers to coaches, or how to manage a team that you're starting, how to just take it to the next level. So basically anything and everything that you have submitted, I'm going to answer for you. Printed it all out. I gave myself a little sheet, and so I'm going to answer your questions. Now, here's the thing. If you have questions that you would like me to answer that you didn't get a chance to submit, if you go to my Google Plus account and you go to this actual event link, and I posted it on my Facebook page. So if you go to Melanie Mitro on my Facebook, the very last thing that I posted was the event page on Google Plus. I have it up on my computer over here, and if you just post a comment there, that's where I can get it at. Also, I really am hoping that the Q&A works. It should, so let's see. The Q&A should be available, so if you guys do have questions, that is also popping up as well. So I'm going to go through the list that I have submitted, then I'll open it up. So very quickly, for those of you that don't know me, I finished #2 in the company last year, so I was a top 10 Team Beachbody coach. I got the opportunity to go to Italy with the top people in the company and the other top 10. I had a fabulous time. I'm a mom. I have 2 little boys. I have a 3- and a 5-year-old. We live in Mars, Pennsylvania, which is about 20 minutes north of the city of Pittsburgh. And I started my Beachbody business after doing Insanity. I lost about 20 pounds with Insanity, and then I lost about 30 total. I had not worked out in 3 years when I decided to put that DVD into the computer. Actually, I was working out in a little back room of our townhouse. I'd moved our storage aside, and that's where I was doing my workouts at. And so, I really had amazing results with Insanity and the challenge groups because I was just fed up with where I was physically after having 2 kids, not being able to fit back into my clothes, needing to get back on track. And this was the ticket for me. And when I started doing the workouts and I started checking into the challenge groups, I loved it. I fell in love with it. And my wheels started turning, and I was saying to myself, wow, I could really do something with this. I could really make this something big. I think I could develop, daily questions and videos that I could post for my team, or I could teach them, how to cook healthy meals for the whole family. And I just started to share that with other people. So I became a coach, and with less than 100 friends on Facebook. So those of you that were sending me questions and saying, I don't have a big social network, how do I grow my business without annoying people? Know that I was that person. I had never used Facebook for anything more than just checking out what my friends were up to, if they had babies or if they got married, I'd look at their pictures. I very rarely posted anything. I was not a big poster, not a big social media person. I had no idea what network marketing was. I had no idea, that Facebook could be used as a business. And so here I was starting this journey of, creating this business and this following. So know that if you're in that position and you're afraid to approach people and you don't want to annoy people, I was that person. I was that person with those same doubts at the beginning. And here is your thought process. Number 1, you just have to do it. I mean, you literally have to, in your mind, say, I don't care. I know that I'm not selling somebody something that doesn't work. I'm not misguiding them. I'm not leading people with false information. I truly am here to help people. So the things that you're sharing every day might be motivating them, right? So my motivational quotes, my inspirational stuff, that's providing motivation. My workout pictures, I'm trying to help people realize that you can do this too, right? I post those post-workout selfies or pictures of me doing the actual workouts, and that's meant to, let people know, empower them that they can do it too. You can modify. The recipes I share them because, hey, I found something that works for my whole family, my kids, my picky 2 and 1-year-old at that time. We'll eat this, so I share it. Or my husband likes it, I share it. So things that have helped me in my journey, that's what I would share. And so every day I would say, I'm going to add value to somebody's life today. And that became the premise of my 3 to 5 posts a day. What interesting information could I find that I could share with others? So, don't worry about, annoying people or not having enough friends. What is going to happen is the more you share and the more you consistently are posting every single day, the more your friend from high school that's friends with you on Facebook is going to be talking to another friend and is going to say, I'm doing insanity. And that friend from high school is going to say, oh, you should follow Melanie on Facebook. She does insanity and she's got great results and she shares all these really great recipes. Like, go friend request her. Bam, you have a new friend, right? Or you're helping your best friend get results and she's telling people in the break room at work about what she's doing and they friend request you or they refer a friend. And so it just begins to snowball. But it really starts with you. Like, as a Beachbody coach, as a new coach, your number one goal has to be, I need to help people. So what can I give people that I can genuinely help and have their best interests at heart? If you're focused on the Success Club point or the commission or, signing up a coach, you're going to have trouble because you're not developing that trusting relationship. You're just trying to get a sale, and a lot of times people will just sign somebody up and forget about them. I can tell you that my success was a direct correlation between the number of people that I helped on a day-to-day basis. So if you are focused on making sure that that person doesn't fall off the wagon, right? So you're checking in with them on a daily basis or on a weekly basis. You are, posting in the groups. If they live close by, do you get together and go to the grocery store and talk about good versus bad choices? Do you have somebody over for coffee that's really struggling, and you just chat? Do you take the opportunity to go over and above your description as a coach and really, truly help people? And that's what it comes down to. A great coach, an amazing coach, is created because you put other people's needs before your own. All right, so let's dig into these questions. Let's get started. Again, if you have any questions at all, make sure you put them in the Q&A box or post them over here on the page as well. So let's get started. All right, so the first question, it comes from Jeremy, and he says, as a former teacher, do you have a yearly or monthly curriculum where you know what you're going to do each month, or are your changes or challenges based on promotions? So to answer that question, I will tell you that no, I don't have a yearly guide for what I'm going to do, but I do have a very specific structure set up month to month. Number one, I always have a challenge group planned for every single month, and the date is set before the month flips over. So last month, I knew that I wanted to start a challenge group the 3rd week of September. I knew that I wanted to kind of wait until people were back in school, and so that gave me from the 1st of September, the first 2 weeks to advertise for my challenge group. So a good 2 weeks of talking about my challenge group. So I'm doing a 21-day fix, fall into fitness, and so I am promoting on my social media sites 21-day fix. So you could see yesterday my Transformation Tuesday was all based on 21-day fix. Things that I'm doing is sharing recipes from the 21-day fix, sharing results, the tips, the fact that it's only a 30-minute workout. I'm also stressing the importance that it's, the fact that it's on sale this month too, right? So the 21-day fix is on sale. So it's only $10 more than the cost of a bag of Shakeology, and you get an entire fitness program, and I'm going to help you get results by teaching you how to eat the right foods and how to make it work for you. So I run a challenge group every single month. Yes, the date is always set, and it's not if I find challengers, I'll run a challenge group. It's I'm running a challenge group. I will find 3 to 5 people, and I will run this group. And so I just consistently invite every single day. I post every single day. And I also, if you have a coach or somebody that you want to pair up with, then if you guys always set a date, so for my team, I'll always say, like, these are when my challenge groups are running. If you want to add your people to my group, here it is. And so that also helps people stay engaged, right? So it helps my new coaches stay engaged because they don't have to feel like they have to run a challenge group on their own, that they can add people to my group, and they can take that burden off of themselves to feel responsible to run new groups. So if you set the date ahead of time, you always know what you're going to advertise for. So the fall, it's like fall fitness. It's, I'm going to talk about things differently. So football games on Friday nights, Sunday footballs. What kind of recipes can you make? What kind of healthy appetizers? What kind of crock pot meals can you suggest to people who are gone and work long hours? So maybe your challenge group changes every month based on what's happening in life. Over the summer, it was all about, staying healthy while you're on vacation, how to make good choices, how to live a balanced life. Maybe over the holidays, it's how to, avoid the holiday temptations. What are some healthy, easy ways to stay on track? How to fit workouts in when you don't have time in your day. So it's all the way you spin your challenge group every single month to give it a different flair, so it's not the same advertisement month after month after month. All right, for challenge groups, I run them for either 30 or 60 days. I don't really do 90-day challenge groups anymore because I find that it's really long and people tend to fall off. So if I can keep people for 60 days, then if they want to continue on, they can move to another challenge group, or they can go off and do their own thing or become a coach. So when I run a challenge group, specifically a 60-day challenge group, it is any fitness program that person wants to do, and I customize that by talking to the person through the invite process, finding out what they are looking to achieve, and then I make a recommendation for a workout that I feel best suits them. I will do 21-day specific groups because I can find 3 to 5 people that just want to do the 21-day fix. But if you find that you're having a hard time, make it a general group, and it's okay if you have a 21-day fix and a T25 and a P90X3, because everybody is starting on the same day, and so you're going to coach them very much similar, but maybe you're going to talk to somebody outside of the group about the 21-day fix and the portions, or the P90X3 and different modifications. But I do run them all the same, and I might be doing, like right now I'm doing Chalene Extreme, and I'm starting a 21-day fix group. So I'm still able to log in and talk about my workouts every day, talk about what I'm eating, but you don't have to be doing the same workout that person or the people in your challenge groups are doing. You can still coach them along with the motivation, accountability, and nutrition based on just your general day-to-day stuff. So I run challenge groups simultaneously. So to answer the next part of that question, I do. So I run one, for example, the 15th of the month, we'll start this challenge group. Then I have my group from last month that's still running, that's in month 2. So yes, I've got 2 groups running at the same time. And what I do is on Facebook, you can favorite your group. So if you're in your Facebook group and you look right below the little timeline, you can click that drop down and says add to favorites. It'll make that group always show up at the top. And so I have my 2 groups that I can flip back and forth between the 2. And I always title the group. So when I log in every morning to do my post of the day, it's day 1 or day 5. And I pin the post to the top so that no matter what, my stuff doesn't get lost in the newsfeed of my challengers commenting and posting. The next day I go in, I unpin my post from the day before, and I pin the new one to the top, and I make sure, you put day 2 or day 5. You title it so you never lose your place, and you always know what day you're on. So that makes my life a lot easier, and it's not hard to do. Once you get a group up and running, your daily posts and your daily check-ins, it just becomes something that you do. So it's not as hard. So I do post 2 to 3 times, or I do check in 2 to 3 times a day, not post. I post once a day, and so I always make it consistent with my challengers. I'm always there by 6:30 in the morning. I auto schedule all of my challenge group posts. So the morning post of the day, I use Hootsuite or Sendable, so that just in case, I miss that I wake up late or something happens and I can't be at the computer, at least my post of the day goes out. And then what I do, I sit down in the mornings and I go in and I interact with my group. So I don't auto schedule and then never check in. I go in, I answer any questions from the night before. I maybe spend 15 to 20 minutes checking in with my challengers. If they have a question about a recipe, I'll help them. If they're struggling with motivation, I'll answer the question and then send them a personal message telling them that, I'm thinking about them. But that's how you keep your engagement with your groups, is by your daily check-ins. And instead of just liking somebody's check-in every single day, actually, comment, hey, great job. I'm so proud of you for passing up that piece of cake at that birthday party. Or somebody rates their food, a 3 instead of a 5, because I ask my challengers to rate their day. So I say on a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate your workout? How would you rate your nutrition? Did you drink your shake? Yes or no? And then just anything else they want to say. So if somebody rates their day a 3, I'll say, hey, what happened? What went wrong that you rated it a 3? And so I'll engage in conversation. So think about it this way. If somebody is constantly every single day logging into the group and they're getting no feedback, so no positive reinforcement, so nobody is saying anything about what they're posting, eventually they're going to drop off. But if every day you're in there encouraging them and guiding them and leading them along, what's going to happen? They are going to be positively reinforced, and every day they're going to check in. So it comes down to you, as the leader, to make sure that if you see that people are struggling, that you're adding some kind of content or you're searching for stuff to give them to keep them motivated. Also, there are going to be a level of people that are just going to drop off, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's like our Beachbody business. I can't come to your house and make you do the 3 vital behaviors every single day. Just like I can't come to your house and force you to put that DVD in to work out and to make the right food choices. So, as much as I check in with you or I message you on a weekly basis or, we get together and meet, if you as the challenger aren't willing to meet me halfway and actually do the workouts, then, I can't help you be successful. So I can give you the tools, but you've got to implement it. So if you're checking in with your challenge groups, you're sending your challengers a personal message every week to see how they're doing, and they're not responding back or they're not doing the workouts, there is nothing more you can do but be supportive and be there for them. And it's not a direct reflection of you. If you can look back and say, I'm doing everything I can, then it's the ball's out of your court, and you have to be okay with that it's just not right for everybody, and that's okay too. So, all right, next question. I'm a new coach. Started off with 2 successful challenge groups when the 21-day fix came out. Then my business fizzled out. How did you start and keep the momentum going? And was most of your success on social media? So, for example, as a lot of new coaches came into the business around the 21-day fix, was awesome. And the 21-day fix is an amazing program. But the one thing that I find is that people talk about it as a 21-day program and not really give that follow-up. So what happens after that 21 days is over? What are your challengers going to do? Start that conversation, at the end of week 2, at the beginning of week 3. From the get-go, talk about to your challengers that this is a lifestyle change, that it only takes 21 days to develop a new habit, but this is really just the beginning of your transformation. This is the beginning of a lifestyle change. You're going to develop the tools to continue for the rest of your life. So we're going to maybe do 2 or 3 rounds of the 21-day fix. Or when it comes close to the end, you're thinking, okay, what do you want to do next? Ask your challenger. So when this 21 days is over, do you want to repeat another round? Do you want to look at another fitness program? Do you want to move to another challenge group? Do we want to stay together in this group and just move on and do another round? Also, talk to your challengers about Shakeology and the importance of it. The fact that yes, it's a meal replacement. It is not just a protein shake. That, Shakeology is meant to be fit into your day for convenience, for nutrition. Because let's face it, we get busy in life and sometimes it's hard to fit it in. So make sure you're talking to your challengers. Hey, do you like Shakeology? What's your recipe that you're making? That's all stuff that's going to help you retain customers in the long run. Are you asking those questions? What do you think of your Shakeology? Are you drinking it every single day? What's your favorite recipe? That kind of stuff. So when it comes to, your 21-day fix groups, the key to keeping them engaged is having a game plan. What are you going to do next? And then focus on inviting them to become coaches. If they got amazing results with the 21-day fix, invite them to upgrade, to become a coach. Hey, do you want to run my next 21-day fix challenge group with me? You have 3 to 5 friends that you think would be interested. Or do you want to save on your Shakeology every month, right? Do you want to get your Shakeology paid for? So those are some of the things that I did when it came to the 21-day fix. Is in my mind, I knew it wasn't just 21 days. I had a game plan for following up when we got close to the end of the challenge group, for asking them what they wanted to do next. Your challenge groups are the key to your business. They are the non-negotiable. They are going to give you the best new customers, transformation stories, success stories. They're going to give you referrals and your new coaches. I find 90% of my coaches on my team through my challenge groups. So no matter what, that is the key to success in your business, is running effective challenge groups. And you keep that momentum going by always thinking of ways to do better. So how can you better your challenge groups? Like, I would read books. For me, clean eating is kind of the food plan that I follow. So I read the Eat Clean Recharged book by Toscarino. I went and bought books on, keeping on your nutrition plan. And so I would use tips from those books in my challenge groups to keep people engaged. I would make videos for my customers to help them stay on track. So those are just some of the things that I did. Most of my success, Meg, was from social media, is from social media. So again, I started through Facebook. 24/7, I was plugged in to posting 3 to 5 times a day. I wouldn't say I was plugged in 24/7, right? I wasn't on my phone all the time, but I was consistent. I guess that's a better word. Consistent at posting. So it's one of those things. It's the slight edge. You could do it, or you could not do it, right? So it's easy to not post because you're nervous about it, or you're fearful of what people are going to say, but it's also easy to do it. So if you overcome that fear and you start to share 3 to 5 times a day things that are going on in your life, your personal, your family, your business, your fitness, your nutrition, that is how you're going to create a following. That's how I created my initial social media traction. At the same time, yes, I was creating my blog, which I'll talk more about. And with my blog, who cares if it's perfect? I literally, if you want to start a blog and you like to write, create the blog and post a recipe today. Favorite Shakeology recipe, done. Share it on Facebook. I don't care if it has no bells and whistles. Your goal is to 3 to 5 times a week write a post. Tomorrow, I want you to write about last week's progress with your fitness. Did you stink at it? Did you do awesome? Did you drink your Shakeology every day? How does Shakeology make you feel? What's your favorite workout that you did last week? Share some of your pictures that you're going to take of yourself on your blog post. Post it. This weekend, when you get some extra free time, go write the About Me section, write the profile, and then that will automatically update everything in your blog. So don't worry about it being perfect. Just do it. That is my biggest takeaway for you. If you want to have success with social media, you can't be worried about it being perfect. You just have to take that leap of faith, and it's okay if everybody doesn't like it. Trust me, people are opinionated, and they're not going to love everything you do. And that's okay, because eventually you're going to attract just the people just like you to your business too. All right. You don't have to have a large group of Facebook friends. Meg, I did answer that. And even if you feel like you've drained people, like you don't have anybody else left, this is how I've made that work. I go to everything people invite me to. If you get invited to a jewelry party or a Tupperware party, go. You just never know when you're going to meet somebody that is going to be really interested in what you're doing, or is going to be passionate about health and fitness and is going to join your next challenge group or become a coach. There are nights when you get home from work and you're like, I just don't want to go to that meeting. I just don't feel like going to that PTO meeting. But you never know when the person you're sitting next to could be somebody that is interested in what you're doing, that a random conversation could start about, needing to get home and eat dinner because you don't want to eat too late at night because you're trying to stay on track. And then you could start this conversation about, oh, what are you doing, right? What kind of diet are you doing, or are you following a specific plan? And they could open up a door for a conversation with somebody. My kids' preschool, right? You get a roster of all the kids that are in the class. Friend request all those moms, right? You have a mutual reason to friend request them. Your kids are in the same class. Or people you went to high school with or college with. I was so closed off at the beginning and never opened myself up. I just didn't want people into my life. But the more that I became open and started sharing and allowing, acquaintances to be my friends and follow me, I noticed that that those were the people that started to ask questions. The people that I forgot that I was friends with were the ones that were saying, hey, I'm interested in your next challenge group. So always be looking for ways to stay connected in the community, to get involved, to volunteer for something that could help you to make new friends. You want to be a social butterfly, you know, and get out there and make new friends and contacts. All right. So, Daphne, how did you grow your network? Do you purchase leads, or is it all simply through meeting and connecting with people personally? What is your best piece of advice for forming genuine relationships with people that leads to growing your team? So, how do I grow my network? Just like I said, the posts, opening up my Facebook, making sure that it's not private, that it's public, but also my blog. So that is my biggest draw right now for building my business, is my blog. Again, didn't start perfect. It started with me just really sharing my weekly progress update, my transformation. You know, if I was going away for the weekend, how was I going to stay on track? What was I packing? What was I eating? What were my car snacks? You know, how did I get my water in every single day? How do you travel with Shakeology? All the things that I was physically going through in life that I was, you know, taking note of for myself, I would write blog posts about. Recipes that we tried that our family loved, I'd put them on my blog. You know, recipes for my kids. Think about how often do you send your kids off to school and they've got processed crap in their lunch. Well, make it a to-do list thing that you're going to make a healthy lunch, and you're going to take a picture of it and make a blog post about it and talk about how you help your kids make better choices. So I just started with simple things on my blog, and I would always share it on Facebook. I would pin the images to Pinterest. And so what happened is every single day, week after week, I would do this: share it to Facebook, pin it to Pinterest, share my blog with anybody that asked. And that gained traction. So I was doing my 3 to 5 on Facebook, and I was blogging, and I was gaining new customers along the way. It wasn't until last year that I actually went and gave myself a professional banner on my blog. So I went to Etsy, found somebody that did blog templates, rather cheap, less than $50, and she just went in and made my header look pretty, but all of the content is my own. And it was all self-taught. It was through myself asking other coaches. It was Googling things, watching YouTube videos. That's how I figured it out. I'm just a self-learner, and I just figured it out. If I wanted to do something, I would figure it out through Google. The power of Google is amazing. All right, so no, I did not purchase leads. I grew my network organically through my own. I do not have somebody that does SEO on my blog. It is all my own doing. I paid for nothing. All right, Ruth, this is a great one. This is about time management. She says, I understand that your hours are what you choose, flexible. Clearly, though, you get a lot done: emails, social media, events, team calls, and that would seem to demand some scheduling. Yes. So over the course of your week, how much time are you working on an average day? Is it more or less than you put in a year ago? Good question. So I will tell you that when I first started my Beachbody business, brand new coach, all the way up for, I'd say, the first year that I was a coach, I was just a stay-at-home mom with an infant and a toddler. I was working my business around nap schedule. I used to work out in the afternoon at 2 o'clock when they took a nap. I made the change to get up at 5 a.m. and work out because I never knew when they were going to wake up. So I made it early enough that I could work out and I'd have a little bit of time to myself. And so what I would do is, and roughly it was about like 2 hours in the morning that I would get in. So sometimes more, sometimes less if they slept in. I would work out as fast as I could. I would hop out of bed at 5 o'clock because let me back up. I was really motivated to make this business work. I was willing to do whatever it took. So I was really motivated to give up my sleep because I really didn't have any other time in the day, and I needed to prove that this was a viable business. And so I got up, I worked out, and I sat down at the computer and I started working. And I would work until my kids got up. Once they got up, I would put my computer away and I would spend time with them. And then they would go down for a nap at 2 o'clock. So I would work from 2 to 3:30 while they napped. And then I would do the most important things first when they first went to sleep because I knew that there was a good chance somebody might not nap very long or something would happen. And so I would literally turn my phone off. I would turn everything else in the house off, and I would just focus on Beachbody. I wasn't talking to friends. I wasn't, talking to my mom on the phone. I was literally just focused on Beachbody. And then I'd usually do about an hour at night after they went to bed. And so I do that throughout my work week. And then on the weekends, it's lighter, right? People aren't typically around, so I'd check in on Saturday mornings, nap time on the afternoons, and then usually in the evenings, I would do my own thing because most people aren't on social media anyways. So I would say about 2 hours a day, 2 to 3 hours a day at the very beginning. Once I started to get to the point where I was starting to sign up coaches that wanted to work the business and my business was getting bigger, I hired somebody to come in 3 days a week so that I could just do specific tasks, like make a YouTube video and, have a team call. Or, I would write a couple of blog posts when I had complete, utter silence. And then once I got busier, I added a full day, so now, 3 years later, I work 3 days. So I have a full day on Monday, full day on Wednesday, a half a day Thursday. I have a babysitter. She's upstairs right now. She probably can hear me. And so what I do is I work and do the most important things that I need to do. And then the rest of the week, it's just check-ins. I just do my mornings and my evening check-ins. And so and it's really, right now, I would say I work more of a full-time job. I probably work, 35 to 40 hours a week, but it's all flexible. So, for example, when my son started kindergarten, I was able to say, I'm not going to work that whole week, right? I'm not going to have anybody come to the house so that I can take Landon to kindergarten drop off. I can go to the parent orientation. I can get him off the bus. Bryce started preschool. So I just didn't schedule calls at that time. I like that I have that flexibility. And if I, have a day where I want to spend it with the kids, then I just stay up, or I get up earlier the next morning and do, extra work. I just make it up somewhere else. So I do follow a specific schedule. I have a Google Calendar that I love. I started with pen and paper. I wasn't as organized. I tried using my phone. I wasn't as organized. I like the Google Calendar because it syncs to my phone and it's on my computer too. Every Sunday, I sit down and I say, okay, I know on Mondays from 8 to 4, I have, my babysitter, so I have time. What am I going to do in that time? From 8 until 9, I'm going to check in with my challenge groups. From 9 to 9:30, I'm going to read emails. From 9:30 to 10:30, I'm going to write a blog post. From 10:30 to 11:30, I literally schedule it out. And I have a master to-do list that I just write everything that comes to my mind. And then when I'm making my schedule for the week, I plug the things in I want to do into the notes section. And it syncs right to your iPhone. So it's actually always on my iPhone, and it's awesome. So that keeps me really organized as well. That's kind of what I do with my time. I would say now I work the same amount of hours probably that I did, a year ago, but I have more success because I've gained momentum and traction. So I do the same amount, but I get more results and benefits. And I truly believe that that's because I worked hard at the beginning and developed consistency. If I was going on vacation, I still was posting, but it was posting about my family and, traveling tips, right? So it was all very focused. I just was very engaged. Another question. I do take time for my family. I unplug. There are times in my week that I can't drive my husband crazy. If I work all the time, I'm not going to have a husband and my kids aren't going to know me. So that's important to me, right? Family balance is key. When I am working, it is work time. When it is 8 to 4, these Mondays and Wednesdays that I'm here, I am focused. There is nothing personal going on during this time. But when it's 5 o'clock and it's time for dinner, I cook dinner, we sit down together as a family, the phone is not on the table, it is turned off, it's in a drawer, and from 5 until usually about 8:30, 9 o'clock, there is no Facebook happening. If it is, it's just a family picture or something we're doing. But I'm not working my business. I'm spending time with my family because they deserve that. They need quality mom time. There are nights of the week that I don't schedule calls because it is just me and my husband. And so we have a show we like to watch on Thursday night. So that's our night together. The weekends, I really try to keep that to family. So it's okay. The world is not going to crumble down around you. Your business isn't going to fall if you take out a couple of hours every single day and don't engage in your phone. And it'll strengthen your relationships if you have good balance. But it's really important that you do that even though we're so excited, we want to be plugged in, we want to answer the minute somebody responds. If it is, really ask yourself, is this a good time to respond, yes or no? You know, if it is family time, just wait. It can wait. People will respect your time if you do the same for them. Yes, so to answer your question about, you know, dividing my time, I can tell you that what I do is I actually will say, for example, I have specific times. So Wednesdays, it's just specifically devoted to making YouTube videos. So Wednesdays, I get up, I take a shower. On Tuesdays, I've already thought about what I'm going to do. I know what YouTube video I want to make. So when I wake up, I shower, I'm ready, I sit down at the computer, my notes are there, I make 2 YouTube videos. I don't care if they're perfect, right? So sometimes they mess up. They don't have cool effects all the time. They're not real fancy, but the content is there, and that's my point. So I'll do that on Wednesdays. I know that I need to blog 3 to 5 times a week, so I block that in. I know that, you know, first thing in the morning I need to check in with my challenge group, so I block that in too. Yes, I have team calls, so I do my team calls. So that's Monday nights. I also know that I want to do one-on-ones with my new coaches, so I have like Tuesdays and Thursdays, just for example, you know, an hour that I'm open to do a team call. So if somebody says, can we schedule a call? Yes, I have Tuesday at 1 or Thursday at 1 available. What works best for you? So work it into your day. You want to schedule your personal business building time, and you want to schedule your team time as well. All right. Let me move on over here. My question for you, we talked about how much time do you work at your desk. When do I sleep? I sleep. I maybe don't sleep as much as I should, which I'm really working on. I've got this little up band, and I'm really working on going to bed earlier, trying to be in bed by 11 o'clock. And yes, I do get up at 5, but I will tell you that I'm just really focused on what I need to accomplish every day, and it's just practice. I was scattered. Some days I feel like a squirrel. I'm all over the place, but I try to work from my to-do list. I try to prioritize what has to get done. Like, you have to invite every day, and you have to post 3 to 5 times a day. All the extra bells and whistles, like making your pictures fabulous and erasing, you know, making yourself a cutout, that can wait. That's going to take so long, right? Making fancy banners. Just do what needs to get done to grow your business right now. The bells and whistles can wait until you have more time. So that's how you get more sleep. That's how you use your time most effectively, right? All right. Next. Beachbody does not always consume me. So I do want you guys to know that, because I know it looks like I work hard, but it doesn't. I do have good balance. I can't say that I was always super balanced, and yes, I struggled with it a little at the beginning because I felt like I was learning at the same time that I was trying to do, and I wanted to stay on top of it. But so I had this little season of imbalance, but in my mind, I was working towards creating a system that worked for me, and that's probably where the majority of you are at right now. So don't give up. It takes time. It's a growing pain that we all go through, but you'll get there. You'll get it, and you'll be totally okay. All right, moving on. Megan, 2 questions. What did your business hours look like when you first started, and how have they changed now? So we just kind of answered this one. So my time is split differently, right? So prioritizing my time. Like I said, less learning now than I did at the beginning. One tip for you is personal development. Sitting there and reading my book for an hour is not an effective use of my time when I know my time is limited with my babies. So I will cook dinner, listen to personal development. When I drive in the car to the mall or to the grocery store, or when I go grocery shopping by myself, if my husband says, go by yourself, I put my earbuds in, I download the Beachbody podcast, or I listen to a team call, put my phone in my pocket, grocery shop, listen to personal development. I always try to multitask, and that helps me prioritizing my time too. You know, when it comes to your business, you always want to make sure Success Club is something you achieve in the first, 2 weeks of the month. So that's what I'm focused on. Those first 2 weeks of the month, I'm starting challenge groups. I'm getting my challengers engaged. I am really focused on making sure I get that done and out of the way. And then the second half of the month, I can focus on something else, like doing more to my blog or adding other YouTube videos that I wanted to make, right? So that's kind of how I change as well. So, all right. When you hear, okay, we already kind of did that one. What do you find is the best way to increase retention or decrease the drop-off in your coaches, whether they are discount coaches or coaches that want to work the business? All right, so the best way to increase retention, again, challenge groups. So think about it this way. Your discount coaches that you have, they are a challenger. So you want to treat them like a challenger, not a coach. So make sure that when you're starting a new challenge group, you're going to your list of discount coaches and saying, hey, do you want to join another challenge group you just finished? I think we get in the mindset of just saying, oh, this person's a coach, and we treat them like a coach, even if they have no interest in working the business whatsoever. So that's one thing that I do is I've started doing, and I got this idea from another coach, is once the challenge group is over, start a general challenge group that's less structured, that doesn't have that set daily post every single day, that's more of a general group where people that are your discount coaches or coaches that want to re-engage in the business or customers that have finished a challenge group can go into. It's a closed group. They have to be doing a fitness program. They still have to be drinking Shakeology, but maybe your banner at the top says, you know, like, sweaty selfie is on Mondays, and Tuesdays is your fit food pick, and Wednesdays is a motivational quote, and every day they just have to post something related to that topic. And that will keep your discount coaches and your customers engaged. So when it comes to retention, you want to, as their coach, have something to offer. You want to always be providing them with something to keep them engaged. When it comes to working coaches, keeping your coaches engaged in the business, think about it this way. If you never talk to your boss at work, how engaged are you going to be in your job? You're not going to know what you're supposed to be doing, right? If you're not having conversations with them, if they're not giving you motivation or fuel to build your business, how are they going to, you're not going to keep your momentum going. Same thing with your coaches. So do you do a weekly little Zoom chat with the 1 or 2 coaches that you have? You know, do you meet them for coffee if they live local? Do you say to your coaches, I've got a cool idea this month. Let's all band together and do this together. What do you think? You know, do you do things where you motivate your team? Do you say, all right, this month, whoever gets the highest Success Club points, I'm going to give you, you know, a free gift or a free t-shirt or whatever, you know. So you want to be thinking of ways always that you can encourage your coaches. The personal development, you read and you have an aha moment, hop in your coach page and say, I read this today, this made me think of our team, and this is what I think, and, you know, here's my takeaway. You know, you're sharing that kind of stuff. Engaging your coaches and keeping them engaged comes from you also being engaged in the business and then sharing it with them too. All right. The second part of that question is you hold challenge groups, but some people aren't on Facebook or won't participate. In that case, email, text message. There's a really cool app. It's called GroupMe, and it's actually an app you download, and you can have, I think, up to 25 or 35 people in a group, and you can just do like a post of the day, and everybody can comment below. That would be an option. You can just do a weekly Zoom chat with your challengers. They can get on. You can give them a weekly topic. So there's other ways outside of Facebook. You can meet and do a fit club workout together and talk every single week if people aren't going to check in. There are some people, they just don't want to check into a group, and that is okay. And so those people, I just know I'm going to do a weekly message to them to see how they're doing. All right. So next. How do you address negative attitudes surrounding multi-level companies? Although Beachbody is unique, and I know that it is, it's hard to help a prospect understand that this company is different. Many people have a bad taste in their mouth surrounding MLMs for one reason or another. True. So it's a non-traditional business, right? It's something that, you know, we don't go to school to be a network marketing professional. We go to school to be a teacher or a doctor or a lawyer, you know, or whatever, a social worker, you know, all the other professions out there. Nobody teaches you that this is a profession. And so when I started as a Beachbody coach, it was like, what are you doing? What, this virtual business, you're behind the computer all the time and you're talking to these people that you don't even know, you know, and you're promoting this stuff online. It's different. It's non-traditional. But what I started doing is I just started to talk to people, and I started to say, like, okay, you think this is a pyramid. Why? Why do you think it's a pyramid? What is a pyramid scheme? And I, like, kind of threw it back at them, like, tell me what you think it is. And people would say, oh, no, that's not what I mean. Or they would explain what they thought it was. And then I was able to say, well, I understand why you would think that, but let me explain to you. It's really not that way at all. And I got very comfortable with, number one, I researched what a pyramid scheme was because I had no idea what a pyramid scheme was. So I had to figure it out for myself. And so I figured out and learned that a pyramid is when there's one person at the top and everybody else is always below them, right? A pyramid is buying and selling of no goods and services. There's no transaction happening. You are literally just signing people up to sign them up so that you can rank advance or move up in the company or make more money. So we're not that kind of a company, right? We really want people to come in as customers, consume the products, get the results. You can see just by all the transformation stories that it works. Something that's a pyramid scheme, you'll never see a product being exchanged. I see a lot of like, make $1 million or make $500 a week or whatever, but you don't know how they're making this money. It's just sign up, sign up, sign up, and then you'll make money. So if you look at something like that, that is scammy. But our business, we're actually helping people. And just because I'm a 15-star diamond coach and I'm a top 10 coach doesn't mean that you can't make more money than me, right, in the long run. So maybe you start really growing your business and you are attracting people and you're growing leaders, and I don't continue to work my business. I don't continue to mentor my team, and maybe I lose some of my diamonds and people fall off. My income is going to drop. You're only going to grow as big as you are, as you know, and as much as your team grows. So if you stop mentoring your team and you stop being a leader, your team is going to cap out. You can't go over and above. So know that you can pass your sponsor, you can pass the top coach. So that's the difference, and it takes time of explaining that. So honestly, it's going to be you talking about it. It's going to be you explaining it, you showing how you help people, you showing that you're helping people get results, you just talking about it. The more you talk about it, the more it will break down that barrier. Yes, it's awkward and uncomfortable, but the more successful you are, the more people trust you, and they see that it's your passion, and they accept you for the way you are. All right, let's move on. Carrie, what's the best way to get coaches who actually want to be in this business? So let's switch and talk about recruiting a little bit. What do you do to find them and the best way to get them excited and going? So finding coaches, it takes time. As a brand new coach, I built my entire business to diamond with one working coach. Actually, two. I'll take that back. I had two working coaches, one on my left, one on my right. I got to diamond. But everybody else was discount. And when I looked at my team, I said, I have two people. I have one person that kind of wants to work the business, and I have one person that really wants to work the business. And so, it was really me turning my current challengers into coaches. And I just approached everybody about the business opportunity or the discount, and I got myself to diamond, got myself to that next level. Once I got to diamond, once I got to emerald, the recognition started happening. People started to see that this was a real thing. I was talking about my challenger's success. I was talking about the business side of things. I was talking on social media about how I loved being a Beachbody coach and how I was earning extra income to pay for our Christmas presents that year. It was a little thing for me, like paying cash for my groceries, something that we kind of struggled with before. I talked about how cool it was that I was getting to take my family on our very first Success Club trip, and we were going to Disney. It was completely paid for by Beachbody. Or I talked about Super Saturday and how awesome it was to do this big group workout and be surrounded by like-minded people. I talked about every little success that I had in my business. The fact that I earned free personal development books for hitting Success Club 5. All the things that you guys have as perks as a Beachbody coach. The fact that I could build my business from home, that I could work at my kitchen table, while my kids took a nap. I didn't have to get them ready and dressed and take them to work. I would just share little tidbits about my business and how I was successful and how I was having little successes. I didn't have thousands and thousands of dollars that I was making every single week being deposited in my bank account. Sometimes I was only making, $100 a week or even less than that. Some weeks I just had a bad week. But I was talking about the business like it was $1 million business. I was talking about the business like I was a top coach, and I wasn't even diamond yet. So when you are looking for people to join your business, you have to be fearless, and you have to go out there, and you have to truly believe that this is an awesome opportunity and you love it, and this is why, that it's adding value in your life in these specific ways. And you have to be creative. Don't compare yourself to top coaches out there. Compare yourself to you and say, what is this business doing for me right now? And you'll attract people to you that are the same way. You will attract the people that are like you. So if you're fearless and you're talking about the opportunity and you're excited about it, other people will sense that in your voice, in your posts, and in everything you do. So Attracting coaches comes from you, your attitude, and your posts. It's not anything to do with search engine optimization or how good your sites are or how pretty you are or how much money you have in the bank account or the rank that you are right now. It's all about the approach that you take with your business and the attitude every day that you go forward with. And finding coaches will begin to be easier. Again, you'll just attract those people to you. All right. So it also comes with, talking about the business. So when it comes to finding coaches, you really have to perfect the way you talk about the business. So I stumbled over my words the first few times I talked about challenge groups and Shakeology. Same thing with the business. So how did I get better at that? I practiced. I would walk around my kitchen while my kids were playing Play-Doh, and I would tell Landon how to be a Beachbody coach or what the benefits of drinking Shakeology were. And I practiced until it sounded natural, until I had the right flow. I would practice not spewing information all over somebody when they said they were interested in being a Beachbody coach. I practiced asking questions first and listening. So, you can be really great at social media. You can be really great at inviting people, but the whole process of inviting to closing a sale is just as important too. So developing a relationship, making sure that you practice that. If you're not good at that, then that is important. You really want to make sure that you're asking the right questions. So it's not creepy. When you're inviting people, that's the second part of this question, creating a relationship with people, just randomly messaging people, develop a relationship first. So if you think to yourself, that person would make an awesome coach, they post motivational quotes all the time, or they go to the gym all the time, or they eat really healthy, go and message that person. Say, hey, I've been thinking about you. You would make an awesome coach. And here's why. You already share recipes. I see you at the gym and you're motivating other people and you're helping people. You could get paid to be a Beachbody coach. You could help people outside of your classes you teach at the gym. And I say, would that be something you're interested in? And if they say yes, I say, all right, have you ever heard of Beachbody? Have you heard of the company, the programs? And if not, then I just explain, this is what I do. I help people through challenge groups. I help set them up with a fitness program that meets their needs. It's an online closed group. And then the key is that you're going to teach them everything they need to know. So you can start a group together. They can just invite 3 to 5 people. You'll run the group. They can add their people in there, and you will help them to get started, right? It'll be fun. It's a cool way for you to stay connected outside of the gym or, outside of teaching or whatever it is that you do. So that's really how I approach it. Keep it low-key. Keep it, informal. Don't follow a script. And when you're talking to people for the first time, just say, I don't typically do this. I promise I'm not trying to scam you or sell you anything, but I just really think you'd be good at this. So be candid about it. Be honest. And truly, if you spend the time and you're not just sending out 50 invites every single day and it's just general and not personal, that's where you start to not have success because your invites are too general. You don't know that person. So take the time to follow them, like their stuff, ask them how their kids are doing, develop a relationship with people too. All right, we are coming down towards the end, so I'm going to answer one more question, and then I'm very quickly going to go through some of the questions that you guys have listed. So if you're struggling to keep, Nicole said she's struggling to keep her coaches enrolled in Coach Basics and growing their business. I don't know what to do or how to do this. So when it comes to Coach Basics, I'm going to tell you guys to watch the video that's on my YouTube channel that I did at Summit. It is Creating High Performance Coaches. That is all about Coach Basics. The top thing I can tell you is to stay engaged with Coach Basics, you've got to customize it. You have to make it unique to the coaches you have. So if you have a bunch of coaches that are full-time teachers or they work full-time jobs, then they are going to definitely have to work on their power hour. So you're going to not give them fluff. You're going to say, this is what you need to do every single day. 3 vital behaviors. I want you to invite at least just 2 people every single day. I want you to share at least 3 times a day. I want you to add new people to your contact list. And you just say, these are the only things I want you to focus on. You're not talking about rank advancing. You're not talking about, all the other things that they could do, left leg, right leg placement. When you sign up a new coach, you just want to help them get started. You just want to help them get their first customer. Let them have that first success and get going. Also, you talk to them. You know, as a new coach, talk to your coaches every single week. Send them a text message, send them a, you know, a quick video message, talk to them on the phone. Stay engaged with your coaches. Coach Basics is a great tool. It has great structure and the content is perfect, but you've got to add the flair. How do you close a sale? How do you handle objections? What are the scripts that you use? You want to start saving that stuff. The things that work for you are the things you want to share with your coaches coming into the business. So create a files section in your Facebook page, on your team page, or on your, you know, coach apprenticeship group or Coach Basics, so that they can go in there when they come across an issue and they can look for the answer there. So watch the video that I've posted from Summit. That'll really help in that area when it comes to keeping people engaged in Coach Basics. But again, it's like a challenge group. You can't promise that everybody's going to stay engaged. People will sign up on your team and they'll fall off because life will get busy, and that again is not your fault. People that really want to work the business, no matter how much time or little time that they have, they will find a way because they're highly motivated. And as long as you're providing enrichment and support, they will be successful too. Alrighty, let's answer this question, Andrea. All right, so Andrea Wallace, how do you develop leaders within your downline to the next level after they have reached the rank of Emerald? So when somebody becomes an Emerald coach, the next step is to talk to them about what is next. I mean, obviously, they're going to continue to 3 vital behaviors. They're going to continue to add people to their contact list and start challenge groups. Then you're going to start talking to them about adding coaches to their team, continuing every single month to set goals. 2 more coaches or 3 more coaches. And leaders within your downline come from you mentoring. So are you running a group, an Emerald to Diamond group? Are you giving them a push group, a 30-day, everybody that just wants to hit Success Club? We're going to run just a push group, and every day you log in and you just post what's on your mind. What is a tip for people to help them, you know, close a sale and talk about Shakeology? Like, those are the ways you develop leaders. It's by you stepping up and saying, I see a need. People are struggling to get their Success Club points. I'm going to do my call on, you know, how to create engaging posts or how to close a sale. You know, it's you identifying the need of your team and finding a way to address that need. So that's how you develop leaders in an organization. All right. How long did it take you before you had a solid customer base? I've been a coach since July, and I just feel like I don't have that yet. Kayla, that's normal. So I don't feel like I had a good customer base until about 6 to 9 months. And even then it was shaky. I still had people coming and going for the most part. So people were not consistent. I would say it took me about a year to 18 months to feel like I never really had to worry about hitting Success Club. I knew that I had enough people that I was meeting that were attracted to me through referrals or through my blog. But I felt like for the first 6 to 8 months, I was scraping by. Some months were easier, some months were harder. Like August and September were hard to hit Success Club because people were not focused on getting in shape. So I had to work extra hard at finding 5 people to join my next challenge group. So it will happen, but it comes with you saying, no matter what, even during these rough times, during these struggles, where I feel like I'm at a low, I will not give up. I will still post. I will still share. I will invite, and I don't care because I love what I do. And that's how you build a lifelong business where people say, she's serious. She's in it for the long haul, and I'm not giving up. I want to be a part of what she's doing too. All right, let's move on. How do you keep track of your challengers' progress? Do you have... Hang on one second. All right, how do you keep track of your challengers' progress? Do you have a certain system? How do you deal with those challengers that sometimes fall? So I kind of already talked about, I did talk about that. Keep track of my challengers' progress. Nifty little 3-ring binder. Every time a challenger joins your challenge group, write down their name, have them fill out their goals. What do they want to accomplish in the first 30 days, 60 days, 90 days? What is their why? Why do they want to be a part of this challenge group? Print that off, 3-hole punch it, put it in a binder. Every 30 days, or when you talk to them, just write notes on that sheet of paper of where they are. You know, every week, make sure you check in with your challengers. Make sure you go back. Hey, did you reach your 30-day goal? That's how I keep track of my challengers' progress when it comes to the challenge groups. It's very effective. All right. How do you advise somebody And then I want to do this one. How do you motivate your discount coaches to work the business? Great question. You can't. They have to want it. You can't motivate somebody that doesn't want to do the business. You can't talk somebody into coaching that doesn't want to be a coach. What will inevitably happen is they will quit. It doesn't matter if you see potential in them and you know that they could be the next top coach. If they do not have that fire within them to be, a coach in the business, it's not going to happen. You can put the tools in front of them. You can check in with them on a monthly basis, see how they're doing with their fitness and their nutrition. You can, talk to them about, the next challenge group or the next coach apprenticeship that you're running. But if they don't have that, it's worthless. Put your energy into the people that are putting skin in the game and that are meeting you halfway. That's how to grow an effective business. All right. Last question, and then we will be done. Okay. Somebody wanting to run the business who wants to try to schedule stuff like you, but also works an 8 to 5 job. All right, perfect. So when you get up in the morning, Kim, this is what you want to do. You get up in the morning, you do your workout, take a picture of your workout. If you don't have time because you're running late, save it. Get to your office, or when you're at a stoplight, post your workout picture. Post your post-workout picture of the day. You're at lunch, you're eating your lunch, snap a picture of your food, quick, post it to Facebook, right? There's your fit food pic of the day. You get home at night after dinner and you are, prepping and preparing for the crock pot meal for the next morning. Take a picture, post it. Motivational quote before you go to bed at night, fitness motivation, or your clothes laid out for the next day. 4 posts. You can do 4 posts in one day, still working a full-time job. It just takes thinking about it ahead of time. Or if you want to auto schedule, say you on Sundays you want to schedule 1 post every single day to go out at lunchtime, and it's going to be your afternoon inspiration, and you're going to have something, whether it's a motivational quote or a dinner recipe or a tip or Transformation Tuesday, but once a day you schedule something. That is how somebody working an 8 to 5 can manage it. Maybe you do an extra hour on the weekend and you prepare for the week ahead. So maybe you do a power hour during the week. Weekends, maybe you spend 2 hours instead of 1. So I really want you to know that not everybody wants to make this a full-time career, and that's okay. So somebody working a 9 to 5 can still do this. They're not shooting for top coach, not shooting for 15-star diamond. They're shooting for an extra income or the accountability or support. So it's important that everybody that comes into the business, you figure out where do they want to go, because the amount of time you invest is going to be based on what you're comfortable with, what's your comfort level of what you want to invest in growing a business. So that's what I'm going to leave you with at the end. It's 12 o'clock, and I promised that I would, respect your time, and I see that there are lots and lots of questions. So we will definitely do this again at some other point in time, hopefully next month. So if you can, just save your questions. You can post them on the page, the YouTube, the Google Plus page that I have for this event. I'll be glad to go back and answer them at a later time. But thank you so much for being a part of this. I really appreciate your time. I hope that this was helpful for you in building your business and getting started right. And last but not least, remember, it takes time to build a business. You see me where I'm at right now. You see me 3 years ago, or 3 years. And 3 years ago is exactly where you were right now. I was figuring it out. I wasn't sure if I was doing the right thing. I didn't know what end was up. I was trying to manage my time. I had 2 little kids, and I was trying to make it work. And I really desperately wanted to be successful. I never gave up. No matter how hard or how many struggles you come across in your business, remember, in the end, it's worth it. Your goals are worth it. Never diminish your goals because it's not working in the here and now. It's always in that moment where you want to quit and you want to give up that you reach success too. So thank you for being a part of our Q&A discussion. Have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you all at the next Beachbody event. Take care.